Today, I'm choosing my next NVDA put, and I'm going to show you exactly how I do it. I'm looking at 3 expiration dates, 7, 14, and 21 days out, and 2 strike prices, and almost immediately, one of those expiration dates eliminates itself. The annualized rate of return makes that part very clear. From there, I'm left with 2 solid choices, and the decision becomes a simple trade-off: more premium or a lower cost if I'm assigned to buy the shares. Let me show you how I work through it. NVIDIA is trading today at just about $216 a share, and I have a $195 cash secured put that is going to expire out of the money at the end of the day. My $200 covered call will expire in 21 days on May 29th. So my task for today is to choose the strike price and expiration date for my next cash secured put. I've already chosen a strike price of either $195 or $200. I'm not going to go above $200 because I like to keep the strike price of my put at or below the strike price of my call. But since this call is in the money by $15, I don't mind matching it with the put. So in order to choose, I'm going to look at expiration dates for the next 3 weeks and compare the annualized rate of return for each trade, starting with May 15th. Everything I'm doing here is in my trade log, so I can see the annualized return and compare the trades side by side. And for the purpose of this demonstration, I'm going to ignore the 65 or 66 cents in trading fees and just look at the bid for the put for each of these contracts. So going out 1 week, the offers are 35 and 61. So if I go out 7 days, a $195 strike will get me an annualized rate of return of 9.36%, and the $200 strike gets me 15.9. Now let's take a look at the May 22nd expiration. A $195 strike will bring me $199, and a $200 strike will bring me about $300. So I'm looking at a higher rate of return for a 2-week contract compared to a 1-week contract. At $195, I can get an annualized rate of return of 26.6% and almost 40% if I choose the $200 strike price. This is exactly why I use a trade log. It calculates the annualized rate of return for each option and lets me compare them quickly without guessing. If you want to follow this process, I have the spreadsheet available on my website with instructions on how to use it. And if I go all the way out to May 29th, the numbers are 259 and 370. So of all of these choices, the highest rate of return is available at the May 22nd expiration date with a $200 strike. I do have some concerns that NVIDIA might pull back a little bit because it's trading so high right now. So I'm tempted to choose this 2-week contract with the $195 strike, and 26.61% is a good rate of return, and it keeps my put strike lower than the strike of my call, which will be expiring the next week. So I'm going to go with the May 22nd expiration and the $195 strike. It filled at 203, so 202.34 came into my account, bringing my annualized rate of return up to 27.05%. I'll move this one up here, change it to green because that shows me that it is an open position, and I will delete all of these that I used for comparison. The net liquidating value of this position is about $35,500. Dividing my total expense by 175 shares, I've reduced my break-even or my adjusted cost per share to $116.72, and I still have 175 shares. So the annualized rate of return formula, like theta, is a really useful piece of information. It helps narrow down the choices quickly, but it's not the only thing I'm looking at. I'm also thinking about what happens if I'm assigned and how much capital I'm committing to the trade. At the end of the day, I'm not trying to find the perfect trade. I'm choosing a solid one and repeating the process. That's how this becomes simple, consistent, and how I guard my treasure over time. It doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to be repeatable. And if you want to see how I apply this on a smaller scale, I'm doing the same thing with Beyond Meat. Check out the lather, rinse, repeat example next.